Hello and welcome to issue 58 of We Ain't Found Sith. I am your host. My name is Evan. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, producer Fungus, over on that side there,
Yoga Fire.
and Pedro,
My friend.
down below.
Spider-Man.
And guys, it's been a couple of weeks. There's been a lot of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, I'm the one that last week was like, nah, let's just skip it because I just didn't feel right doing our silliness when everything that's going on has been going on. But you know that things have kind of started to settle a little bit again. I feel like it's okay to start kind of getting back. So tonight we had plans. Plans fell through due to inclement weather. But we're
Yeah,
gonna push on anyway.
yeah. We had a guest lined up for everybody tonight. If you saw in the post, right, we were gonna have on Keila Rosado, who is a singer, voice actress, and she was gonna join us to talk about newest project that she's working on. So, but we'll have her on, eventually.
Hmm.
The, the
Maybe
project.
we're a little bit closer to when the show is actually releasing. But
Yeah.
for those of you who like me during these times, you've been listening to podcasts and things like
Hmm.
that. Um, Go check out Dorky Diva. It's a podcast. They are putting together an audio drama, which is Star Wars adjacent.
Yep.
It is certainly inspired by uh, our favorite, one of our favorite galaxies from long, long time ago, or the galaxy
Yeah.
far, far away.
And actually, the teaser trailer dropped today. So if you want to go check it out, you can. We'll post a link a little later.
Or you
And
can just go to YouTube and just type in "Adventures of the Zolan Dart,"
okay, there you
and
go. That too.
yeah, or you can just type in "Zolan Dart" and it'll be the
It'll
first
yeah.
thing that pops
It'll
up.
exactly.
But yeah, I heard the trailer. It's about a minute long. It's not,
Hmm.
anything to, but sound quality sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And it's basically kind of a throwback to the old days of like radio drama.
Yeah.
If you're like me, if you're a fan of things like the Thrilling Adventure Hour and stuff like that, then this is like right up your alley. But Gus, what else has been going on? You've been a man about town for the last couple of weeks. You've been out there fighting the good fight.
Yeah. I went to not this past weekend, but the weekend before. I went to the protest when they were first popping off, and man, it was incredible experience. I'm not gonna say it was eye opening because I already knew, all the issues that we've been having in this country. I tend to pay attention to those things, but it was it was good for me to see what our community is going through firsthand. You know what I mean? So I got out there. I of course I wore a mask to because COVID is still a real thing. Which, by the way, it's starting to spike up again just because the country's opening up. But anyways, that's besides the point. Yeah, I was out there, masked up, taking part in the protests, peaceful protests, and yeah, man, you can just see all the pain in everyone's eyes. It's a real thing. It's a real issue. So if you'd like to learn more about it, I suggest you go do some research and really find out what the problems are, the systemic racism and everything that what this
Yeah.
country is facing, and educate yourselves a little bit.
Well, well, it's like I've been, and I hate that it falls to us to have to explain to the older generation.
Hmm.
Because I don't know about your family, but in my family, my family, I feel like they kind of live in a bubble.
Yeah.
And look, the truth of the matter is that as Hispanics in Miami, we've kind of built this bubble around us
Yeah. 100%.
where Hispanics in Miami, we're the majority.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So yeah, and Hispanics, Hispanics are available in multiple shades of Hispanicness. You
Yeah.
know, You know, from the pale face Hispanic you see before you to
Mhm.
the dark skin Hispanic. You know, we and even the Asian Hispanic. You know,
Yeah,
so we are truly a, even though we're an ethnicity technically, we're a very multicultural ethnicity,
yeah,
and we've kind of built this thing where it's like, yeah, even though we're different colors and different skin tones, we're all still Hispanic and we're all still united by our Hispanicness.
yeah,
And we've kind of built this bubble. I don't know about how your parents are, but like my parents consider themselves white. And it's because, like, okay, you grew up in New York in a Hispanic neighborhood, you moved to Miami to a Hispanic neighborhood, but you've never been to rural America. You know,
yeah,
I've been to places like Georgia, I've been to places like Virginia, I've been to places where I truly have felt like a minority. And yeah, coming out of a Walmart at 11 o'clock at night and seeing, a couple of pickup trucks parked down at the end of the parking lot with Confederate flags, that shit is fucking scary,
yeah,
you know? And I got the camouflage that from a distance, you don't notice the fact that I'm not a white American right off the bat. So I can only imagine what it feels
To
like,
to us, I feel like white people could sniff you out real quick.
but probably,
Look at that Mexican over there.
yeah. Well, which is my other favorite thing is,
yeah.
oh, you're Cuban. What part of Mexico is that?
Yeah, dude, no lie. I actually had a conversation years ago with somebody from California. This is how fucked up the education system is in the United States. And I was talking to her and whatever, we were shooting the shit. And she's like, "Oh, so where are you from?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm from Rio." Okay, granted, it could be many places in Rio, right?
Hmm.
And then she's like, "Where? What Rio?" I'm like, "Oh, Rio, Brazil." And she's like, "Oh, is that close to? Is that in Mexico?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "But Rio's in Mexico." I'm like,
Deep
"No."
South Mexico, like
Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, you
the
have to."
southernmost tip.
Yeah, you have to go really far down in Mexico to get to Rio, Brazil.
Yeah,
So like, I
Oh
saw that. I'm
god.
like, man, you have like, how did she not know that? But she knew about Mexico. I mean, I'll
it's
give her
not
that.
it's not as south. It's not as south in Mexico as Buenos Aires is, but
No,
but it's South Mexico, right?
or like Chile. Chile is very south. Chile is very south Mexico.
I couldn't remember the name of a city in Chile. In Chile,
Santiago, I think.
Yeah,
Santiago.
Santiago.
uh,
Santiago.
That's the
which is
capital.
another city that could exist in any South American country.
True.
True, true
Yeah.
that, true
I
that.
mean, it just goes
We
to show you how ignorant people are in this country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
you
and
could.
also just the Spanish were not very creative when it came to naming cities all over South America, where they just kept using the same names over and over
Yeah, but
Oh yeah.
again.
it's not like someone's throwing out Manaus. You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
that's a hard. You know that you have to know about Brazil to know where Manaus is. But Rio, that shit, it lights up. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny. But if you have that if you have that in California, my point is the reason why I'm bringing this up. If you have that in California, where it's super diverse and it's super like what is the opposite of conservative? It's liberal.
Liberal.
Liberal, exactly. And like uh, fucking how do you say? I don't like they. I don't want to say like an asshole, but like no more. Like you know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say? And then like when you get closer inward,
I don't know.
no,
I don't know what you're trying to
I
say.
forget the word that describes it.
It describes what?
It's like I don't know. I'm forgetting the word. Like I'm trying to describe like usually in these kind of big cities, people are more cultured. That's what I'm trying to find.
Oh, okay, okay.
Cultured. So like when you have like in these bigger cities, they're very cultured, and if you say something like that, they understand. They're like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. But when you get inland in the United States, you get in the middle, they're not as cultured. You know what I mean? Because they're not like living day to day with multiple people. You know what I mean? It's usually the same things every day.
Which is odd because I feel like every farm in Middle America has like a large number of migrant workers that pass through working.
I agree, but like it's like it's a different situation where living with somebody and working with somebody. You know what I mean? That's mostly I would imagine working with somebody. It's not their neighbor. You know what I mean? Someone who's just like, oh, back home I used to do. You know what I mean? Like your neighbor. If you talk to your neighbor, they probably have stories about shit that you've never even dealt with. At least my neighbors. One of my neighbors is Cuban, and they've told me about how it was raising a kid in Cuba, and then he had to come over here and leave his kid behind. And years later, you have to bring. You know what I mean? It's a
Mm.
You're just more cultured in that sense because you're living day to day and you're like talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're interacting with a diverse group of people.
Exactly. So like I understand, but like someone in California, how do they not know? Like, did she never run? I mean, maybe there's not a lot of Brazilians in California. I guess that's it because she knew. I'm
Maybe she
guaranteed she knows.
never saw the movie Rio either.
There you go. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, and again, it's like, you know, we were talking about like we built kind of this bubble for us down
Yeah.
here, and a lot of them haven't experienced shit that some of us who have traveled have experienced.
Exactly.
And so you have to explain, like, listen, like, this, it's not this incident, right? Like this incident that happened. Yeah, everyone's angry about this incident that happened,
Not everyone. Mostly everyone.
but the just the added weight of all of the incidents that have happened over time. Guys, it's been 18 years since Rodney King.
No, Rodney King was like
92.
early 90s, dude.
92. That was 92.
Oh, 20. So I'm sorry. I still think I'm younger than I am. It's been 28 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
28 years.
The
So
last
even
one,
worse.
the last situation like this that we had, I think, was in 2014 or 12, something like that.
No, this shit happens all the time, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, but like the riots.
The last
and
time we
crazy
had
shit.
like, demonstrations and all that was the guy in Missouri. Which, you know, how fucking sad is it that this shit happens so often that I'm blanking on the guy's name.
Yeah, but it's a bigger issue than it's not a U.S. issue. This shit is global. There is racism every fucking where, and it always falls on African Americans. It's like so fucked up.
But I feel like, and then the other thing too is like I have to like explain to them, like the issue of police brutality does not just affect, like, taking a stand against police brutality benefits all of us.
I agree, and that's what I think they should be focusing on. They should. There is a race issue, but they should be focusing on the abuse of power, because I think if they focused on abuse of power, and you see a bunch of these right wing people like counter arguing like Black Lives Matter, like that's something bad. How are you gonna counter protest police brutality? Even everybody deals with that shit. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
You know, and
yeah, but
this is
the problem is that the African American community deals with it at a much higher rate.
Oh no, I completely understand and agree with you there, 100%. But like the core reason for this, because like, yeah, they deal with racism a lot higher, and this police brutality is part of the racism. Mm-hmm. But the core thing, the thing that they're fighting for, is these police not fucking killing for no fucking reason, because that's what's happening. So I see it more like a police brutality, because it's not just them. I saw a video of some white dude who just got gunned down because two cops were barking orders for him to do shit, and he didn't know which one to listen to.
Oh yeah,
you know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, you know that happened like 3 years ago.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like that happens to everybody. It's just cops abusing their power, man. That's what's fucked up. I mean, of course, there's this racism.
They're not properly trained. They're not trained in de-escalation.
Exactly.
Things like that.
But it's also the issue of, you know, you give someone a hammer and suddenly everything's a nail.
Exactly.
You know, so Gus, you're average Miami height, right?
Sure.
and you're what? You're like 5'8"?
I'm 5'7".
5'7". Okay, it's 5'7". But you're about average Miami height. I'm 6 feet tall, which is average height pretty much around the world. In parts of the country, I'm short. But in Miami, I'm a tall motherfucker who weighs 300 and something pounds. I'm bigger than 70% of cops. If a cop gets scared of that, thinks that I might do some shit, I'm fucking dead. Even if I'm just hanging out, like, you know. So, you know, taking a stand against police brutality, we all fucking benefit. Like Pedro, as a skateboarder, how many times have you been fucking hassled?
Don't even get there, bro. It's just every time, man.
You know, like, so yeah. So do we want to remove asshole cops? Of course, definitely. You know, but again, like 28 years, almost 30 since Rodney King.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I forgot
Nothing's
who I was
changed.
listening to. I was
Nothing's
listening to
changed.
somebody. I want to say it was Neil deGrasse Tyson that I was listening to, who was like, "Oh my God, we finally got one on tape, right?" And then all those cops got acquitted.
Yeah.
Because
That's
people
the fucked up.
forget the riots weren't about the beating of Rodney King. The
It's
riots
about
were
the
about
acquittal.
the acquittal of the cops.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and like how having all of this on tape, how could you? Well, this is. You think the riots are bad now?
Yeah, I saw a an Instagram post of some dude with a sign that says, "You think it's bad now? Wait until they get acquitted." That's literally what it is, man.
You know, and I don't know why. I hope I'm wrong. I hope at least the main guy. I hope and I don't want to say names because I don't want to give even more press to
I
them.
would, but I don't remember them.
But
Fuck those guys, man.
I
Yeah.
hope at least that guy goes to jail. But I'm willing to bet the other three guys get off maybe with time served.
Not even. At least fucking bar them from this shit. They shouldn't be cops. Straight up.
Oh no, I don't think they're going to be cops. But
Yeah.
but I also don't see them doing time as accomplices.
I think
You
they
know,
should.
I see them being like, okay, you've lost your job, you've been in custody for however long it takes to get to trial, and you guys are going to get off with time served. While maybe this guy does 20 to 40 years with a chance of parole.
Yeah.
And
And that's the problem. They have
that's
so much.
exactly the problem.
They have so much power that they could get away with bullshit. So they don't even think twice about it. They're like, fuck it, we could do this. You know, this whole situation is fucked up. It's a mixture of all kinds of bad shit. You have police brutality, fucking racism up the ass, which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020, why do we still have that shit in 2020? You know what I mean?
It's ridiculous. Like when you learn about this shit in school, when you learn about the civil rights movement and all the things that happened, all the walks,
And nothing changed.
the sit-ins, and all that shit. Like when I learned about that in school, I thought, oh man, that's crazy that used to happen.
Yeah. Still
And
does.
you can't think used to happen. That shit's still happening. All that stuff that happened back then,
Yeah.
still happening.
It's still happening. And in the same way, dude, that's the craziest part. Some
Mhm.
racist bullshit happens. Nobody gets, accounted for. Just, oh, whatever, no problem. And then riots come out, looting comes out, all this shit. And then they try to make reforms and shit, and nothing changes. The same shit.
You said a key word there, that there's no accountability.
Yeah.
Right? That's one of the biggest problems, because that's what empowers these bad cops to keep doing these things.
Exactly.
Right?
You have to make an example of it.
Yeah, they feel like nothing's gonna happen to them. If there was accountability,
Yeah.
even if there was a bunch of racist cops, they would still do things by the book, because they know that if they fuck up, they would be held accountable.
Yeah, and they're not even scared that they have cameras on their chest. Like they don't. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
The thing is, I want to amend what you said. It's not the lack of accountability is what lets these cops do what they do. The lack of accountability is what lets everyone do what they're doing.
Yeah.
The cops, the politicians, the lawyers, everybody here has a part to play in all of that. And it's the lack of accountability. Even going so far as like the Twitter mob.
Yeah.
The hiding behind a false name and being a keyboard warrior, but not having any real actual accountability to what you're saying.
Yeah.
The lack of accountability is a major factor in all of this shit. At least the people that are out there protesting are showing their face.
Mm-hmm.
The people that are attacking them online,
kind of showing their face, because most of them are wearing masks.
Of course, we're still in 2020, man. Can we talk about how bad 20?
Bro.
What's going to happen by the end of this year, man? We're going to get Godzilla or something.
Every month has surpassed the past one in fuckery. Like I'm scared of June. We're only a weekend. I don't know what's going to happen this month.
Who knows? Then I think today they said that there was some Russian warplanes flying near Alaska. I'm like, yo, hold on, bro. Can we have at least 1 month of a break? Just one. Let's chill out for a second. Let's figure this rioting shit out before we start. Oh man, it's
Seriously,
just
man.
this whole thing just it bothers. And you know what's the fucked up? thing. I'm so against rioting and looting, but dude, I can't say that I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like I get it.
I completely understand where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Like I see people being like, "This is unnecessary." Yeah, I agree, but I get it. I understand it. I understand why they're so pissed off that this is what they want to do. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like I had an argument with somebody about the looting, and I'm like, not everybody loots. I didn't fucking go looting. I'm pretty sure you guys didn't go fucking looting.
No.
Why do you think people do that? You know what I mean? There's a reason why. Everybody wants to get free shit. You know what I mean?
but I don't think it starts that way. I think it literally starts with like some motherfucker being like, "Look at this fucking cop car, fuck the fucking police," and then they just find like I'm gonna fucking bash this window in with whatever the fuck I find around me.
I get it. And then
As
here's
soon
the
as one
opportunity.
person does that,
Yeah.
oh shit, free for all.
Exactly. That's how it goes. But still, even with that, there are still people in the riots and in the protests that are around that, and they still don't go in there. And it's because they're not living the same life as somebody who needs to do that or wants to do that because they're so pissed off or they're trying to take advantage of something. Maybe they have maybe you have a good job and you don't think, oh, I need to steal something. You know what I mean? It's like it comes down to more of a psychological thing than just fuck these people. I want to do whatever I want. You know what I mean? I feel like it does, at least. Maybe I'm completely off, but that's just how I see it. I don't see everybody doing it. You just see a certain few. Sure, they might be bad apples, but maybe also they don't have any opportunities to better themselves, and they see that as an opportunity.
What kind of bothers me about that argument is not your argument specifically, just the argument in general, is how people are throwing the whole protest under the bus because of the rioting.
It's Colin Kaepernick.
They're throwing everything and they're discrediting the protest because of the rioting and the looting or whatever, right? And even though it's a small percentage of people that are doing that, but then they won't do the same thing to the police force, even though it's not I know it's not all cops that are doing bad shit, but you still have to, encompass the whole thing.
Exactly.
But here's the thing, right? It's Colin Kaepernick all over again, right? Colin Kaepernick took a knee to protest police brutality. They turned it into being about the flag, right?
Yeah, they changed the narrative.
These people are protesting police brutality, and here comes the people who disagree with their argument are like, "Oh, but look, they're looting.
Yeah,
and look at how bad they're behaving.
Yeah,
and look at how."
The biggest issue with all that is that they never ask why. They just say, "Look what they're doing," but they never say why are they doing it. You know what I mean? And if they take a second to think why are they doing it, they'll see, oh shit. You know what I mean?
But it's diversion. It's if I can get the people who are watching this at home who are not participating to look over here, then they won't look over there where the real shit needs to be.
But that's a completely different topic. I think that I think goes into the line of them using this as a political fucking argument, and I hate that they're doing that shit. Both sides. It's both sides doing it. It's the Democrats
because you
using
would think
this.
if there's one thing that we could all agree with is
stop killing black people, or stop being racist toward one another, or just stop killing people. As stop cops killing people. You know,
because it seems to me that the pro-life party should be pro-life at all stages.
Yep.
Yeah, facts.
That's a good point. Yeah, but they don't care. They don't give a fuck. Why? Because they're on one side of the team, and that team doesn't support it.
What? All of a sudden, George Floyd's rights ended when he left the womb.
Yeah, and the stupidest thing is the reason for all this shit. The reason was for a counterfeit $20 bill, which maybe he didn't even know it was counterfeit. Like, come on, get real, dude.
Yeah.
I've one time gone to the bank to deposit money and I had a fucking counterfeit. And I didn't even fucking know. I just was given a counterfeit.
I worked in retail for 2 decades, and every once in a while, someone would hand you a fake, and you go, "Hey, I'm sorry, man, but listen, you might have to go back to the bank where you got this from and let them know they gave you a fake bill." "Oh shit, I'm sorry. Wait, here, let me give you a real one."
Exactly.
You know.
Who knows? Maybe that was. I'm not saying that maybe he didn't know it was. Maybe, but also maybe he didn't. And it gets to this escalation where you're going to accidentally kill somebody because of a fake $20. Get real, dude.
But
give him a ticket. Get out of there.
But it's not even that. If you watch the footage, he was arrested in handcuffs. He was on the side of the road. They were holding him on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Then they brought him over. And then all of a sudden, this cop just decides, okay, I'm going to take this guy in handcuffs. And instead of putting him in the back of the squad car, I'm gonna put them on the ground, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, it's
Like,
it's
why?
it's
What?
disgusting, bro. I
Mhm.
saw that video, it got me so disgusted. And then when I found out why the whole reason for this, I'm like, dude. At that point, you look at it and you're like, those guys think his life is less than $20. That's what it looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I mean? That is so fucked up.
Yeah, man. Let me
There's
let me let me ask you guys, man. So we've seen a bunch of different groups of people, come and show support for the Black Lives Matter movement and all this stuff. I haven't really seen much from the nerd community, but I don't follow it that closely. Have you guys seen anything like that from like comics or anything like that? And can you talk about it if you have?
the turnaround rate for comics is like at least because right now they're whatever's coming out now they've been working for months, so they're
Well,
not
I
gonna
mean,
be
maybe not like put out an actual comic talking about this. I know it's been super recent, and
yeah.
also COVID doesn't help. But maybe like I don't know, social media posts
Oh
or
no, yeah, I follow a bunch of
Twitter.
comic artists. They've done like tributes of just like Spider-Man,
Mhm.
Miles Morales standing in front of a flag. They've done like stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
but it's
I,
everywhere, man. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
yeah, and I like it. I mean, a lot of the podcasters that I've listened to, like they've taken time to speak about it and things like that. And everybody, I mean, it's pretty much across the board. Like I don't, I mean, other than Fox News, I don't think anybody really is anti, what's going on. Like I can't really like even people that like I listen to like their podcasts that you would think like you would consider them conservative are like this is appalling and this is horrible and this needs to stop.
Yeah,
yeah,
You know, and it's just one of those things where it's like, I
because
mean,
this
this,
shouldn't be political. It just shouldn't be.
yeah.
exactly.
And like the people who are just against it is because they're like on team red. They're like team Trump, and Trump
Blatantly,
doesn't. You know
blatantly
what
racist.
right? It's
Well,
just
that or
I don't.
they
I'm not
have
even
just
saying like the racist. I think they're just team whatever Trump says is right
yeah.
Wow.
I'm
is it.
supporting this guy and I'm backing this guy with everything that I have, and he needs to be right, or else the last 4 years of my life have been for nothing.
Exactly.
So I'm just gonna parrot every single talking point and talk about every single thing, you
Exactly.
know, without even putting any real thought and interest into it.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think it's necessarily, and then of course you have the argument of the racist. Those people don't even deserve a fucking voice. I don't even
Oh,
like to acknowledge those idiots. But
well, those. I
fucking
mean, and not to mention, like those guys are so few in number.
yeah,
Like I
Yeah.
saw, I don't know if you guys saw today. Like it was all over Twitter. There was a protest outside of one of the like government buildings in Georgia. I don't know if it was a courthouse or what the hell it was, but it was literally a white supremacist protest. And literally looking at the screen, like I was like, I feel like you could count every single one of them. Like you could be like, okay,
is it the ones were they
there's
wearing
like
like the white
75
mask?
people there.
Were
What?
they the ones wearing like the white bandanas around their mouth?
I don't
I
know. They
saw
were.
I saw protests where they were being escorted by cops and they were wearing like white bandanas, but it was like 15 of them.
Well,
Get out of here, bro.
but that's the thing, right? Okay, now I'm gonna move more to the center because I feel like so far we've been pretty liberal in our
Mhm.
conversation. But I've seen like a lot of comments on those posts of like, how come nobody's tear gassing them? How come nobody's like because they're so few in number that like the cops aren't scared of them.
All right.
Like the cops know that if these guys get out of line, all it takes is Jimmy over there with the fucking AR-15, and he'll take half of them out with one clip. Like so they're not scared of them the way they're scared of the thousands of people. And it really, at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to is that a lot of these fucking cops, the ones that you see that are jumpy, they're all fucking scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is that if those thousands of people decided to fucking rush them, yeah, they're gonna take out the first wave, but the second wave's gonna be all over. It's gonna be like a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I get that
Mhm.
too. But then again, it goes back to my argument. Why? Why are they out there? You know what I mean? If these
And
guys, if this cop was, tried and, taken to jail for and being sentenced, I guarantee you half of this or a majority of this shit would die out because that's all they want is justice. Or at least that's what I expect that they
well,
want. If they
it,
want to keep doing this after the fact, then it's
well,
kind of
I'm
pointless.
of the opinion of like, why aren't the cops at these things just kind of out of the way. Be close enough where something does happen, you can respond, but just don't like. I don't know if you guys were watching any of it but on I believe on Saturday
Hmm.
there was a rally at FIU,
Yeah.
and the rally was on campus. And I guess when the rally ended, people decided, hey, let's go out to the corner of 8th Street and 107th. I shit you not. There were more people on the corner of 8th Street and 107th when the Marlins won the World Series. I know because I was there when the Marlins won the World Series.
Yeah.
And there were less people for this than there were for that. And all of a sudden, fucking they brought in Doral PD from up north, and they came down in their fucking Roa squad cars, and then they were all fucking marching in their fucking Gestapo formation, like down 8th Street, and it's like these people haven't done anything. These people haven't thrown anything. These people, they're not attacking the cars that are on the street. Why the fuck are you turning them into? Are you bringing the fucking stormtroopers
This
in?
is where I'm conflicted, because I've seen cops. I've seen a bunch of clips of this shit, like on street level, people on their phones and like news and all this shit. This is where I get conflicted, because I don't know if the reason why they're so jumpy is because shit has already happened, but also I've seen a bunch of like. Have you seen those things with like the pallets of bricks like planted? Like that makes me think that
The
they
one out
want
in L.A.
it's all over the country. It's everywhere. They're just planting bricks. So
Yeah.
it looks like that
Well,
they're planting them so that they can do something so that they could take advantage of it.
Well,
So
it's
like I
weird,
don't
right?
know,
Because
you
there's
know?
the one in L.A. where there were the pallets of bricks,
Hmm.
which it's fucking L.A. For all I know, that was somebody's idea of art.
No. Let's be real. That shit was planted there. There was no construction anywhere around
Right.
it.
But then, like, I saw pictures like from New York, and there's like, oh, we found cement in ice cream buckets, and then it's like you're looking at it, and you're like, wait, there's writing on there, and all of a sudden somebody writes on it, like, it's like those are concrete test mixes from a construction site. Like you could see on the writing on there that like on each one, it's got like the writing of like what mixture of what concrete was poured into it. So it's like now you're turning shit into things that they're not.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things, right? Where it's like, but who the fuck would have the money and the power to just fucking be like, there's gonna be a protest. Let's go the day before and just strategically place bricks all throughout the street. Like,
I don't know. See, that's where I'm conflicted. I don't know if this is
because
like planned. I don't know
well, I
if it's
feel like
escalated because, cops are I don't even know if it's cops. Fuck if I know who did it. But I have seen
Yeah.
random bricks being placed in very specific locations, and they're like on a pallet. It's not like when you're
Yeah.
doing construction, you don't put them on a pallet. You just move them aside and you place them where you need it. If it's on a pallet, that means it was loaded there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
not to mention, it was these weird looking pallets that were like completely enclosed all the way around by wood and all
Yeah.
that.
No, man. It's
I
just
got,
it's too. That's where I'm conflicted about this whole thing. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, these guys are getting out of hand. They're getting like super like they're getting pissed off for no reason. But then I see shit like that, and I'm like, what makes me think that they didn't start?
but
I
also
don't
we
know.
don't know how long those pallets were there for. Like, yeah, they noticed them the day before the
Well,
protest, but
I don't know because I wasn't there, but I've seen a
right.
bunch of videos of people recording where they're actively processing every day, and they're like, "This wasn't here yesterday. Why is this here?" You know what I mean? So that makes me question all this shit. I don't know, man. This is a very funny world. It's like I said, they turned this into a political statement, and like this is all to benefit, for obviously it's 2020, re-elections coming up, so
Hmm.
they're trying to use this as leverage, but
Exactly.
it's just I don't know. It's just so gross. All this is gross. All I would like to see is this shit be fixed. I don't want to see this kind of carnage anymore. I don't want to see stupid like pointless killing for no fucking reason. You know what I mean? And like racism. Get rid of all that shit, man. Let's be better. But
And I think we're all old enough now where like we realize, this isn't going to change overnight.
no, it's not.
I know
No.
maybe some of the younger generation they might think like we're going to fix this and all. It's like, well, it's going to take some time because you got a lot of people who are entrenched and you got a lot of things that need to change.
Hmm.
But at least I feel like we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah. And you're right. There's a lot of intertwining things that you can change this, but this thing is still affecting it. So you're gonna have to. It's gonna take time to change that
Yeah.
as well. There's a bunch of
baby steps.
there's layers to this shit, bro. It's like fucking lasagna.
Accountability. Just focus on that. Make people accountable for their actions. That's the first step. You do that, and then things start looking better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also, can we demilitarize the police? Like, can we start maybe by doing that?
That's like a whole other thing there.
I think that's a bill that's in the House right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I've been after that for 20 years. Like, ever since 9/11, and when that shit started happening, well, like all of a sudden when Sweetwater Police Department got an APC, and I was like, what the fuck do they need an armored personnel carrier for? Like, shit got like, it's like, okay, now we're starting to get fucking overboard.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, all it is a fucking extension of the fucking defense.
Have you guys? Sorry, go ahead.
It's an extension of the Defense Department welfare program that we have, where we're fucking paying military suppliers for shit we don't need.
Yeah. Have you guys seen videos? I've been watching this shit straight because I think this is historic. First off, this shit's going down in history for sure. You know what I mean? Just like '92 with Rodney King, this is a fucking whole other animal that we're dealing with. So I've been like watching a bunch of these videos, and I don't know. I see a bunch of fucking like. Have you guys noticed how like the actual National Guard are a lot nicer to the protesters than the cops are? Have you like noticed that?
The National Guard, I don't think want to be there.
Obviously, and they shouldn't be there, and that's the thing. But like they're forced to be there, and even them being there, they're not like tear gassing people in the face. They're just they're just standing like guard.
It's what we were talking about at the beginning of the show, right? Here's the difference between the cops and the National Guard, right? When you sign up for the National Guard, you're signing up probably because you want to take advantage of like the college program. You figure, I'm going to sign up for the National Guard. It'll be, I'll give up, what is it, like a weekend a month?
Yeah.
And like 2 weeks a year. And in return, I'll get, I'll get the college program. I'll be able to maybe travel a little bit and stuff like that. Or maybe you're an ex-duty and you want to find a way to maybe continue without, fully being committed. So you kind of sign up for the National Guard as kind of like an extra thing.
It's like
whereas when you sign up to be a
guess.
cop, it's because you want to be in there, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody signs up to be a cop because they got nothing else.
I don't know. I would argue that, but
yeah, some guys.
Some guys do, man.
But even then, you gotta want to be a cop.
Yeah.
Like because you could say about like, oh, they're not trained enough, but they're still trained, and there's still things that they have to do in order to pass the training. And if you're not at least somewhat committed, you're not going to pass.
Yeah, I don't know that world well enough to know if there's any kind of benefits to it. I don't know. Maybe they get free donuts. Who knows? But but I don't know. I don't know if there's like any incentive like the military. I know the military does because like when you're 18, they hunt you down and they start throwing all kinds of gold at you. You know what I mean? Oh, look at my car. Look at this. Fucking.
I never did it, but I always remember I got in 1999 when I was graduating college. When I was graduating high school, I got a letter from the Naval Academy that was like, oh, sign up, for like to be like a nuclear engineer, and it was like a $70,000 signing bonus, which for an 18-year-old in 1999,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, like that shit's a fucking
which disappears really quick if you're 18 because you don't know what the fuck you're doing with money at that age.
Why didn't you do it?
Why didn't I do it? Because A, I was never physically fit for the military, and B, even then I was a bit savvy and I could read between the lines. Yeah. And knowing that a nuclear engineer meant that I would probably spend my days either on a submarine or on an aircraft carrier. Because if you're studying nuclear engineering at the Naval Academy, you're basically running one of the engines on one of those massive ships.
Yeah. Damn, $70,000 at 18 though, man. If you're smart and you just put that shit away, just put that shit in a fucking fund that follows the.
But then again, 18-year-old me was
or some shit like that.
Yeah,
but 18-year-old me had the idea of I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna get my degree, and then I'm gonna go to wrestling school because I want to be a professional wrestler.
Dolly.
Now I look back on
Wait,
that and I'm like,
why didn't you ever do that?
Because I like living my life the way I live it, bro. I look at those professional wrestlers, bro, that are my age, are like, yeah, I wake up in the morning and I got the stiffness in the back, and I've had I don't know how many broken
Yeah,
bones.
but I
And how
think you
many,
could say that about any athlete. I think once they get
true,
past an
yeah,
age, shit just gets rusty. You know what I mean?
you
Yeah.
know, I may not be in shape, but at least I don't wake up in the morning in pain.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but
I
that and
think I think it was I saw. I don't know much about sports, but I saw a fucking special with Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. Like they saw his hand and his fingers were all like all messed up because of
Yeah.
basketball. Basketball fucked up his hands, man. So I'm like, yep, that's the wear and tear, baby. You're like one of the greatest, and that's what you get for it. You know what I mean? At the end, that's how you
oh,
show it off.
if you ever want to see fucked up hands, just look at the hands of like any former lineman.
Yeah.
The offensive lineman, defensive lineman,
Yeah, I
after
don't know. I
years
don't know
and
anything
years of
about
years
sports.
of like fingers getting stuck in face masks and shit like that, like those fingers bending everywhere. It's
Yeah, ugh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
But I think that goes for any sport, honestly. Like
It's
I
like
think every sport has that.
I feel
those
like
guys
baseball
wave
is
at
pretty
you and
low
you're like, why are you
impact.
throwing up gang signs, man?
Like what? That's just the way my pinky bends, bro.
That's fucking crazy.
But
Shit, even me, I had like a short run skateboarding when I was in like high school and college, and I busted my ankles like a million times. Now my right ankle clicks I can't stop it from clicking. It always clicks. It doesn't hurt at all, but it makes it funny. I look like I'm fucking walking around with cowboy boots with spurs. Just so
you know
it
what?
just comes with the
Cowboy boots
territory.
might be good for you.
Yeah.
That high arch and good ankle support.
That's true.
Is that what that's about? Yeah, no
Go,
thanks. I ain't a
go get
cowboy.
yourself some cowboy boots, bro.
Yeah, it won't give me a cowboy, but yeehaw all over the shit.
I've thought about getting cowboy boots, and then I realized I'm a fat man with fat legs. Squeezing them into a pair of cowboy boots would probably look funny as fuck.
Or fucking hot as fuck. Talk to me.
Yeah, I don't think there's any breathable cowboy boots, man.
I mean,
don't
if
think
you got you guys know how I dress. I already got everything else. It's just the boots that I'm missing. I got like the jeans,
true.
the jean shirt.
you gotta get yourself some Adidas Samba cowboys, some cowboy Sambas.
That's it. That's it.
Can I get a pair of Allbirds cowboy boots?
All birds.
Or have you not been bombarded by the Allbirds advertising machine?
No,
They're all over my They're all over my Twitter. They're all over my Instagram.
what's all
I
birds?
finally broke down. I ordered a pair. They're quite comfortable.
What are those?
Allbirds.
They
I'm about
are
to Google this.
sustainably sourced sneakers. I got a pair of slip-ons that are.
Oh, they look
made
like
from,
Yeezys, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, those. Okay.
They have like some are made of wool and some are made out of like tree fiber.
Oh, they're made out of George Washington's teeth. Were made of wool.
There you go. But
Oh, shit.
all right, you know what? It's good. It's a good segue. Let's get into some more lighthearted shit.
I confuse L and D.
The first 40 minutes of this show have been quite heavy. Let's lighten it up a little.
Those were
bit.
current events because that's pretty much everything. COVID? What COVID? What are you talking about? COVID?
Even though, bro, just to kill the segment with COVID real quick.
COVID.
I saw I know a nurse that works at Jackson, and she posted something about how they are reopening a floor for COVID patients. So that shit spiked up again. So everybody out there, be careful. Wear your masks.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's like everybody who was talking about like, oh, this shit's a hoax is like, well, no. As soon as shit started opening back up, as soon as people started getting around each other again,
I imagine that these protests also doesn't help. There has to be a spike because of that, for sure.
No, of course not.
A bunch of people on the streets,
especially not when there's tear gas coming in and bodily fluids coming out of your face all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, you could be wearing a mask if the snot's coming out of your nose like Niagara.
Have you guys ever been hit with tear gas? Because I haven't. I just seen people and it just sucked, man. Holy shit! No, that shit looks bad. My friend got hit by one of those rubber bullets.
I have made my own mustard, and that shit is you got to be careful with that shit.
You made your own mustard?
I made my own mustard once.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
sounds dangerous.
But when you make your own mustard, you need to be careful because you could accidentally make mustard gas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
That's how it got its name. You need to like make sure like when you're fucking using your like food processor or whatever to like pulverize that shit, that when you're done, you let that shit settle before you pop the lid off.
Mm.
Because if you've ever had like a spicy brown mustard, you know how you get like that burning sensation kind of in your throat.
Yeah, I
Well,
like
if you
it. I like
inhale
it.
that
Yeah,
shit,
me too.
it's
Oh
even
yeah,
worse.
yeah. I like inhaling it too.
Yeah.
I'm just
It's
looking
good.
forward to when we can get together again and just hang out, even if it's like socially distancing
Yeah,
from each other.
I haven't seen anybody. This is the most human interaction I have right here.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm
Um,
just playing video games with my friends I'm talking on Discord, and that's about it.
I mean, I can't see you, Pedro. I don't know what you're looking like right now.
Well, I'm looking funny as hell.
Are you also growing the quarantine beard?
I shaved it actually.
Oh,
I shaved my beard, and I'm because I was so stressed out because of the COVID shit. I was pulling my mustache hairs out, so I have like this giant bald spot on my fucking upper lip. So I decided to shave it.
Oh
I
god.
shaved
This shit
mine.
is real, bro. Like what's her name says?
Cardi
Kobe?
B.
Yeah, that shit got real, bro.
Our buddy Marco said he was gonna grow a beard, and I said if you're gonna grow a beard, I'm gonna shave mine on week one of the quarantine,
Uh-huh.
and this is where we're at now. You know, I've got some decent girth on this.
That's it. That's nice.
That's what she
You
said.
know,
Right now, I have like this short beard with like patches all over it because I have bald spots from the fucking me yanking that shit out. That shit's
your,
serious, man. It's
your show name is now Patches O'Houlihan.
patches. I'm down with that.
but
Going back to what you Gus asked. Yeah, my friend got shot by one of those rubber bullets, and
Here in
it-
Miami?
no, he's in North Carolina,
Okay.
and
by the way, you know that they're supposed to shoot those things off the ground, right?
yeah, they're supposed to ricochet, but these motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they're
No,
doing. So he got a direct hit on his forearm, and like he got this huge fucking welt, like this huge bump, and it was like bleeding and shit.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know how bad it got. He got like a medic to like look it over and shit. It's not too bad, but man, that shit looked like it fucked his arm up.
But yeah, that's one of the things where it's like you're hearing about this shit, and it's like you find out like, oh yeah, these things are supposed to be like bounced off the ground, and then you see video and like they're just firing at people.
Yeah.
And
They're
it's
also
like,
firing. They're also firing the tear gas canister directly at people when they're just supposed to like roll
I
it into the crowd.
I don't know if it was LA or Seattle. I saw like some girl took one to the chest.
Yeah, it's a bad time, bro.
Damn.
That's why I haven't gone to any
And
of these protests. As much as I want to support, I don't want to be in the middle of that shit,
But
bro. I see some people putting cars on fire. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be anywhere
But
near
it's
this.
also like a tear gas canister. That thing's got to weight like what, like a pound or two.
Doesn't matter how much it weighs. A
And
bullet
that
doesn't weigh
shit's-
anything.
But the thing is, even though it's a large blunt object, it's still fucking firing at a high like.
That's what I'm saying.
Like I can only like I've been hit by a paintball, and I gotta imagine that thing is like a million times worse.
Yeah, fuck that.
Especially because that thing doesn't splatter on impact. That thing fucking is solid.
That shit's made of aluminum, baby. That shit hurts. Does not feel good.
And that girl must have weighed like 100 pounds.
You could still knock somebody out with a with a grenade without the pin in it, bro. It still hurts. I don't want to get hit by any of that shit. But anyway,
That's true, man.
But
all this shit's weird. This shit's all weird.
Have you guys been watching anything in quarantine? Like, let's end the show on a lighter note.
Nah, man. Literally just been playing video games, and that's about it.
No.
Oh wait, no, that's bullshit. I started watching Community, and I saw all of Space Force.
Okay, I saw all of Space Force also.
I haven't seen Space Force yet.
Yeah, Space Force was pretty.
It's good. It's good.
It's like it's Space Force. The best way I could describe it is their jokes aren't that good, and they mostly don't hit. But when they hit good. They're like really funny.
All right,
I kind of feel the same way.
I saw that there's a copyright lawsuit between the show and Trump's Space
Which
Force.
is so funny, man. It's
Well,
so funny.
Trump didn't think he had to file copyrights, and the show was like, "Well, fuck, we could own it. Let's own it."
Yeah. Also, the actual, American Space Force, their logo looks like the fucking Star Trek logo.
That's the Federation logo. Yeah.
Why doesn't Star Trek follow suit on them?
Just wait for it.
Eventually,
That'd be the
someone-
biggest troll, man.
they'll jump on the bandwagon. Once Paramount realizes they can make some money on that shit, they'll jump on there.
Yeah, but I would recommend people watch it. That show, I don't know if it's the same writers. I said it the other day to a friend of mine, but I don't know. I said it to Louis actually. I don't know if it's true, but I think it's the same writers who did Parks and Rec, Office, and 30 Rock. I think it's the same. Not all the same writers, but they're like writers from all those shows. It's like the jokes kind of hit the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
How deep are you in the Community?
Bro, to be real, I don't like it, but it's another one of those Big Bang shows where I just want to see it through.
Oh, but how deep are you into it?
Well, I'm at home right now. I can tell you right. Hold up. I just finished watching. I think it was The Prom. Hold on.
Are you still on season 1?
No, season 2. The beginning of season 2.
Okay.
Yeah, episode 6, season 2.
How did you like Introduction to Modern Warfare?
What is that?
The paintball episode.
Oh, dude, that show is like super. I don't know how to. It's just like it's fucking so sitcom.
That show has so many hidden gems. I fucking love that show. I was one of the few people that actually watched that show while it was airing, and there are episodes where they're whatever. There's very sitcom-y, and then there are episodes where like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah. Some parts of that episode that you're saying, the paintball episode, were like over the top funny, where it kind of reminded me of Always Sunny, where it's just like there's no reason for any of this, but it's happening, and I'm down for it. But then you also have those segments where like he's like making out with the hot girl because it's a fucking soap opera, and I don't give a shit about it.
Those get fewer once like the show starts realizing what it is.
I imagine. I kind of see it from season 1 to season 2. I've seen that like in season 1, they're trying to like bake on the Big Bang formula. Like it's very much Big Bang Theory first season. Second season, you have like the weird quirky Abed character and what's his name, Troy. And they're getting ridiculous with their jokes. You know what I mean?
Troy and Abed are one of my favorite. Like,
right. So I'm imagining towards the end they're just going to be meta and they're just going to be doing all kinds of weird shit.
Oh, they've already. There's some episodes where they're straight up meta.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
but then they do episodes like on the first season. Like there's not a whole lot of my favorite episodes, but like I love like the Goodfellas episode.
Oh yeah,
when they take over the chicken tender,
chicken tenders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
like I had no idea what they're talking about.
Nope.
It's one of it's like it's on
Netflix. It's worth a watch.
It's another.
I know the show.
It's not worth a watch unless you're like committed to like watch it all the because most of their jokes hit. Most of their jokes hit if you are like determined to continue. Like there's like a little tiny Easter egg, not even Easter egg. It's like a setup for a joke in the first season where the dean, which is probably one of the best characters ever written. He's on the internet just looking at videos, and then he sees a video of a guy dressed up as a Dalmatian, and he just like it's one of those like voiceover things where like they're kind of panning away, and all he says is, "I hope this doesn't awaken something in me." And then like towards the end of that same season, he orders a suit, and then there's like a prom at the very end, and he like ordered a fucking like party clown to be dressed as a Dalmatian, and he's just like, "Oh, he's here." And then another one shows up, and he's just like, "Oh, I didn't think you got that one. Bro, better for me."
you're scratching the surface of the dean as the show goes on.
Oh, I know he probably gets crazy.
His character gets weirder and weirder and more absurd.
No. Chevy Chase is like if you watch Big Bang Theory, each character is exactly the same formula as Big Bang Theory. So he's supposed to be the Howard of Big Bang Theory. He's like the same character. He says inappropriate shit all the fucking time. He's hypersexualized, and he's like the weirdest, quirkiest looking character.
He's the horny racist old man.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's actually one of the things where like they actually will start going away from him as the show goes on, because in real life there was a lot of drama happening with Chevy Chase
him and Danny.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where like, man, the show has some great stuff.
Yeah, I catch some good jokes in it. That's why I keep watching it, but I don't think it's like it's worth a watch.
There's going to be some episodes that are like awesome. Have you gotten to Abed's Claymation Christmas yet?
Nope. I just finished the Amin Thinks He's Jesus episode where he makes the movie that sucked.
You want to talk about meta?
That shit was meta as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those characters are fun. I don't like the whole like I wouldn't even say college because I had none of that shit resembled my college experience. But that's very much high school bullshit that they deal with in that show. But then you have Chang, which is like another one of the greatest characters ever written. The guy is just completely out of his fucking mind. And yeah,
Chang is played by Ken Jeong.
Yeah,
Mr. Chow from
Mr. Chow.
from the Hangover series.
Hangover.
Yeah.
I love that. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, bro.
Which I'm surprised that joke is still in there.
Yeah.
Why? Is that like a thing?
Well, because with today's culture, I would have thought they would have taken that joke out.
Oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. That shit was so funny. It was like that joke came right after the main character trying to be like sentimental, and it was completely out of place. And he was like the Always Sunny humor in that situation. And then obviously you have Betty White in that same episode that just turns that whole thing upside down.
You were supposed to all combine your weapons together to make one super weapon.
And then she like almost kills that guy, and then what's his name throws her piss on her face. So good. That was funny as fuck. Yeah,
but Gus, I've also been watching the 30 for 30.
Okay, I haven't been able to see the Bruce Lee one yet.
Oh,
I'll try to watch it tonight.
Interesting.
Is it a one-parter or two-parter?
It's a one-parter.
Okay.
It's the first one-parter because the previous ones were all multiple parts.
Yeah.
But the Lance Armstrong one was good.
That one was good.
This one's weird because like you don't have talking heads in this one.
Mm-hmm.
The entire episode is told over footage and photos of Bruce Lee.
Nice.
And then it's not until the end of the episode where they go, okay, here are all the people that spoke throughout the episode, and they show you who they were. But it's a good one. And then next week we got the Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa one that's coming out. So I'm looking
that one's gonna be good too. Yeah.
So Space Force was good and all that. Other than that, the only thing I've been watching like that's out there is I started the new Stargirl series.
Oh.
And the first two episodes, hard to judge because I feel like, first of all, the first two episodes were like one part. They got broken up into two episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then now this week, the third episode came out. And I haven't watched it yet, but I feel like that's going to be the one that tells me, like, okay, is this good or not? Because I have hope for it.
What is Stargirl? I've never heard of that.
So, Stargirl is a character created by Jeff Johns for DC Comics. She's a 16-year-old girl who inherits I don't want to say it's a weapon, but she inherits like a staff that allows her to like fly. It allows her to like shoot laser beams and all of that.
That's cool.
And she decides she's going to take on the mantle of the predecessor of Starman,
who just happens to be the guy from Community also.
Yeah.
Okay.
They, obviously it's CW, so they got to throw a little bit of some teen stuff in there and all of that.
I hate it.
But
Degrassi bullshit.
Yeah.
God.
But it's also being the showrunner is Jeff Johns, and it's his character, his creation. He based the character on his sister, who died at a young age. So it's a very close personal project for him. So I'm hoping having him in charge of it will kind of hold back on a lot of the stupid CW shit. But we'll see. I'll let you guys next week. I'll let you know whether or not I feel like it's worth checking out or not. Other than that, I've been all the other CW shows that I was watching of DC have all finished their runs for the year. Pretty lackluster endings, and I don't know if it's because they had to end early due to COVID, or if it's just because the seasons weren't that great this season. Legends of Tomorrow, of course, as fun and as irrelevant as always, and like I love the fact that show does not take itself seriously. Like the fact that the season ending, and I know you guys don't watch it, and I don't think anybody who watches this watches it. But if you do, close your ears for the next few seconds because spoilers. The fact that the show ends with basically them saving the world and then Sarah getting kidnapped by aliens, and that's the
Woo!
cliffhanger.
Fun.
Like it's a show that likes to have fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, hold up! I just remembered. I started. Did you guys see the Weinstein thing, the documentary?
Weinstein or Epstein?
Epstein.
Epstein. That's what it was.
I saw the first episode, maybe the first two, and I was
I don't need their bullshit propaganda telling me why he killed himself.
I
I know that's not true.
I started watching that shit, and I straight up couldn't finish it. I've watched like maybe one episode, maybe one full episode, and a little bit of the second. It just got me so grossed out.
Yeah, I'm same here, and I get it. Like, okay, he was a bad dude. He fucking sex trafficked and all that bullshit. I don't really need to finish watching this to understand.
I couldn't do it, dude. I couldn't, dude, because on top of that, the whole documentary has a bunch of like alibis of people who actually like dealt with it, and they're talking about their situation, and I'm like, oh god, this is so gross. No thanks. And it was like in our neck of the woods. I'm like, oh, I'm fucking grossed out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, the question is this: is like, if I watch this, will it teach me something about human behavior that I should be looking out for?
I don't think so.
Because if not, then then there's really no reason for me to watch.
Well, I mean, did you watch the Michael Jackson one?
I didn't watch that one either. I didn't watch that one.
I didn't watch that one either, just because I mean, my homeboy made fucking.
I watched the Michael Jackson one, and it was really hard to get through. And
he did no wrong, bro. He made Thriller. You can't take that away from him. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Listen, man. If the Michael Jackson one, if that was scripted, if that wasn't real, give those guys Oscars because I believed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So did majority of the people. I like to jam to PYT, bro. I don't want to fucking put that image in my head. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Michael Jackson made Thriller. I can't. You know, I can't do it.
It's a good question, right? Like, where do you separate the art from the artist? You know, Woody Allen, piece of shit guy, made some terrific movies.
Agreed.
He's a piece of shit guy?
Oh my god, you don't know?
Dude,
I don't know
he married his own stepdaughter, bro.
What?
Not exactly.
Oh, that he married her? I know him.
Adopted daughter.
Oh, it's adopted, not stepdaughter.
Oh, he married his adopted daughter.
Adopted daughter. They adopted this girl when she was a child, and when she grew up, he married her.
How is that legal? And like what was it, like 4 years ago?
Well, they're not related, so. But it's also just
no. You didn't let me finish
because you fucking raised this kid.
Yeah.
How is that okay? Because this happened way back in the day. This happened in like the early 2000s or the 90s. How is that okay? But like recently, it was okay for gay people to get married.
It's not okay.
How is this?
There's a lot of people who are not okay with it.
Yeah, but he's actually legally married. Like that's not right.
Yeah, because it's not illegal because he's not related to her.
No, but
even then, I don't think it's illegal to marry someone you're related to. It's frowned upon.
I don't know about all that. I just
you definitely can't get married through the church.
I don't know,
but I don't think the government of the United States has any kind of law against you marrying someone you're related to.
Oh, you know what? You know what other thing I watched?
I mean, Jerry Lee Lewis married his own cousin.
Ew. Yeah. You know what else? The other thing I watched? What is it called? Sex, Death, and Robots. I'd never seen it.
That was good.
That's really good.
It was really good. Yeah, that show's dope.
I think I watched the first episode and I never finished it.
Bro, I'm pretty sure when it came out, I watched it because I wanted to talk about it on the show. None of you motherfuckers watched it.
No, I didn't. I just saw it like 2 days ago, and that shit is fucking fire, man.
Yeah, that would have been great.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't aware that they were shorts. They're 15-minute shorts each episode.
Yeah,
I thought it was a continuous story, and that turns me off. But 15-minute episodes, I thought, or movies, I guess you could call it.
Yeah,
dude, those were good, man. Those were really good.
They were dope as fuck.
Umbrella Academy season 2, end of this month or end of next month?
I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up. Whenever it drops, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Castlevania. Got to watch that.
Castlevania. I saw it. It was whatever. The current season.
It's a setup season.
Just like the other one. First season was a setup. Second season was a shit hit the fan
Yeah, and then this was like a setup season,
for the
and
next
then
one.
we'll see what they throw at us next season.
Lock and Key. Did you guys see that? That's a good ass comic.
I have not watched that.
Oh.
Written by
How is
Stephen
it
King.
in comparison?
Is it on
Oh,
Netflix?
I haven't watched it. I read one of the comics and I thought the comics were really good. And I've recently found out that the writer is Stephen King's son. I think it is.
Yeah.
It is, right?
Joe Hill.
Yeah.
Where's that on?
Netflix.
Oh shit!
It
Okay.
just dropped like recently.
Wait, what is it about?
The comic. I only read one of the comics.
Well,
I
it's
wasn't.
it's a family, and they move into like this old family house.
Yeah.
And then throughout the entire house, there are all these like keyholes, and then like you find keys, and if you find like the right key to go in the right keyhole, like it unlocks like interdimensional doors and things like that.
Yeah.
Ah, all right, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what's on your shirt? Is that Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was looking at it. I saw the. What's his name? Krang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Shit. But yeah, man.
Looking
What
like
else?
Evan's Mike.
Huh?
Crane.
Oh, Krang. Yeah. But that's about all I've seen on Netflix, bro. I guess I've been watching a bunch.
I caught up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's my favorite show.
Is that on? That's not on Netflix.
It's on Hulu.
I love that show, man. But
Yeah.
I don't got Hulu no more. So
I've been watching that Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian.
Oh wait, I finally finished The Mandalorian.
Oh, there you go.
oh shit! You know that would have been great to talk about when it was
Back in December.
Yeah.
Back when we were still in a regular year.
Hey guys, let me tell you, that was a great show.
Yeah, we're aware. It was.
Oh man, so good, so good.
But I've been watching this Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian, where they go like behind the scenes. I'm liking it because it's like a combination of like a behind the scenes doc mixed in with like Jon Favreau used to have an old show called Dinner for Five, which is an awesome show. If you ever get a chance, I think all the episodes are on YouTube. It's a great watch. Where it was basically Jon Favreau with like 4 people, and they would sit around a table and like just talk about stuff. And that's like this is kind of like they're all sitting around this table, and they're just talking about like the making of the show, and like how the technology that was from the Jungle Book and the Lion King and all that, how they brought it into this. Because one of the things that Favreau felt that Star Wars really wasn't doing with the movies was pushing the technology, like what George used to do. So it's and bro, that set that they built, like that set with like the 180-degree screen, where like they throw a background on there and it just blends in and it just like looks like you're on a spaceship. Like that shit is dope. Yeah, I want to see that in person. Oh, and it's Disney, so I know at some point they're gonna incorporate that into a ride or something.
I hope so. That'd be fucking amazing.
Speaking of Disney, it has nothing to do with Disney because Disney sucks. But Louis posted on Facebook in the group.
Universal Studios Japan.
Yeah, if you're not a part of the group, go join it because we're dropping some fun shit on there all the time. He posted Universal Studios Japan of the Nintendo World, and that shit gave me a boner, guys. That shit looks fucking dope as fuck. The little coin spinning. Oh my goodness, I can't wait for that shit. I'm finally gonna go to Orlando for the parks with you guys because that shit doesn't happen no more.
Yeah, as soon as we get although I think Nintendo World Orlando is a few years away because it's gonna be a part of the like the new park that they're building.
Universal?
Yeah.
Where is that?
They're opening a new park on an extra stretch of land that I think they're expecting to open it by like 2022, 2023.
Wait.
Maybe now with all this, it's been pushed back.
Universal's doing that? Yeah. Oh shit, I'm down, man. I'm down. Yeah. If they're bringing Nintendo in, oh my god, I'm so down. My favorite parks in Orlando, even though I don't like going over there anymore, is Universal because I just think that the shit it's just more catered to the shit I like. Comic book world, Jurassic Park, Dr. fucking Seuss, all that shit I love. So if they just keep and now they're doing Nintendo, bro, they just know my number. Like you know what I'm saying? They just know my number, bro.
I will say the group did disappoint me a little bit this past week because one of our members posted a 4 picture poll of it was Kelly Bundy, it was Winnie Cooper, it was the Pink Power Ranger, and
Topanga.
Topanga, and it got like a ton of comments and people choosing all
Mm-hmm.
that. So I posted a poll where I was like, because obviously some of the comments were like, "Oh, you're missing this person, you're missing." I was like, I posted a poll like, tell us like who was your childhood crush like growing up on TV, and we got like very little response on that. Nobody really participated.
Did you
Uh,
did you make it public? Because I never saw it.
I made it public. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
there. I didn't pin it. Maybe I should have pinned it to the top of the page.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
see it. It probably got drowned out by the amount of posts that we get. We got a bunch.
But man, I was hoping to get a little more interaction. I'm trying to open up a conversation.
I didn't even see that shit, man.
That's
Well, I mean, was it really needed though? The only clear answer is Kelly Kapowski.
Kelly
right?
Kapowski, correct? Yes, that's it. So that's the correct answer, right
That is
there.
the correct answer. I mean, come on,
Yeah. You can't.
come on.
I was always an Alyssa Milano guy.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. The correct answer is Kelly Kapowski. That's the correct answer.
I don't know, man.
Can't.
Sam from Who's the Boss did it for me.
Nope.
I mean,
Kelly Kapowski.
I
every
was like
time.
9 or 10 years old, but what can I say? Preteen feelings were stirred. And then of course Winnie Cooper. Like of the 4 that he posted for me, it was Winnie Cooper. I don't know why. It was one of
Yeah.
those things.
Of the 4 that he posted, I went Topanga.
Topanga.
Maybe I think I was already
Over
a little.
Pink Power Ranger.
I
Whatever. her
think I
name
was
Yeah.
already a little bit older when, and Topanga had that like when that show started, like they started with them in middle school, so like they were young, and I think I was older already, and like I just never looked at her that way.
I was not older.
Granted, she grew into being a beautiful woman, but I think at that point in my life, there were other girls that I just thought were cuter. I mean, we're talking about the TGIF lineup, the Step by Step,
Oh yeah, the sister.
the and not only her, but the tomboy one too, the middle child.
Which she was a little kid.
The actress's name is Christine Lacken. I'm not remembering the character's name.
I don't remember, man.
But Step by Step, all 3 of those girls were.
You're forgetting Married with Children. What's her name?
Kelly Bundy, Christina Applegate.
Yeah.
Fucking fiery.
Never did it for me.
What?
Really?
You crazy,
Yeah.
bro? Especially on that show. That show is super sexually charged.
Nah, never. I never. Maybe I was too young, and I saw her as like too adult. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I thought her with that mini skirt looking all kinds of good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That
So-
and I'll be honest, I've never been a fan of blondes.
Same, but still mini skirt, bro. Ooh. Anyway, so tomorrow,
I mean, if we're talking about leg action, Daisy Duke, Catherine
what?
Bach from the Hazard.
the Hazard.
I mean, I'm definitely too young for Dukes.
Yeah, I'm way too young for that, bro. You dinosaur. That shit.
I'm not that much older than you.
I know. That's why it's funny. But yeah, I wasn't.
It's funny because I'm always using the fact that I'm older than you guys.
Exactly. That's why I threw it out there. Off topic. Tomorrow there's a PS5 conference to show off the games and stuff. So
Oh,
if you guys
Where?
are into games,
like
I
on YouTube.
probably gonna
I
be
don't
on
know.
YouTube.
I think
on
this
their
might be the first
Instagram.
time that a next gen console comes out, and I'm like, I can wait.
The first time? What was the last system you have?
My most recent system's an Xbox One.
Oh, you got the one?
Yeah,
Right.
All right, all right.
Yeah,
And
well, the
and I can
PS4,
watch
Little
Netflix
behind.
on it and just fine.
I'm a little
Yes.
behind.
the PS4. You know, you're not. Honestly, like the games that have come out, they're good, but dude. I stand by this. As much as I do think that the new consoles have good games, none of them. There is not a single game that it's as iconic as the early years of video games. None of them stand the test of time. They're like fun for the time that you play
they're
them.
also part of the thing of being an iconic game is you do have to allow the time to go by.
Yeah, I know, but it's like even like okay, for example, when you have like Super Mario, like the Super Nintendo Super Mario,
I would put Final Fantasy VII in that.
No, Final Fantasy VII is a fucking. That's PlayStation. That shit's.
Yeah, I'm saying
That's on a whole other. It's a
Final Fantasy VII is more this generation than like regular Nintendo generation of video games.
right. Yeah. No,
You know what I'm
you're
saying?
right. You're right. I get what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But like, I'm just
Well, I
going
mean,
for like
if
something
you're
that everyone
gonna
knows. You know
if
what
you're
I
gonna
mean?
pull the Final Fantasy card, then you might as well pull the GoldenEye card too.
No, GoldenEye was a situation where it was the first of its kind. That's what made it so good. It was the first person shooter on a console because we already had that with Doom on the PC. That shit already existed. So like it's the first.
But GoldenEye was also very good gameplay and very good mechanics.
Right? No, I'm
Because
not
then
taking.
games came out afterwards that just couldn't stand up to it.
Right. But I mean, if you look, if you try playing that shit now, it's super dated. Like you have to stop to aim to shoot. You can't really shoot while moving and aiming. You know what I mean? It's like a whole thing. But because it was the first one of its kind on on a console, that's what like skyrocketed. You know what I mean? And it doesn't. It also helps the fact that it's like the situation with THQ fucking wrestling games. Nobody has been able to make another one as good as theirs because they were the first ones to do it, and that just became the norm. This is how it's supposed to be done. You know what I mean? They were the first ones to make those 3D fucking wrestling games, and nothing compares because the way they did it was their own way.
But they also had such a great control style.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's like, yeah, well, I couldn't do like everything that I can do now and all the number of moves that I can do now. There was an elegance in its simplicity.
It was an arcade game. That's why it was
Besides,
designed to be an
if you
arcade.
watch wrestling anyway, most wrestlers only do like 5 moves anyway.
Exactly.
So I don't need 20 something of them.
But the point I was trying to get at is like I didn't go with Final Fantasy VII because that's as popular as it is. It's very niche. Like if I asked both of you guys, have you guys played Final Fantasy VII? You
The new one or the original?
Any of them?
No.
Exactly. So, but everybody's played Super Mario, right?
I played Final Fantasy VII for a week.
Well, my point is you played Super Mario, right?
Oh, of course.
Exactly. Everybody's played it. So that's an iconic game because it's like no matter how much time passes, you can still go back to it and play it and still be like.
How many games like that exist? Though that it doesn't matter. If you've played, if like everybody has played Super Mario, everybody has played Sonic, but like what else is Mortal Kombat? Maybe. What else?
Like what do you mean in a genre?
How many more of those games exist?
Like is iconic?
Like that, yeah. That everybody has played.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat,
Street Fighter, all right.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tetris. You have
Tetris.
As much as I hate to say it, The Sims.
I've never played Sims.
Well, a lot of people played fucking Sims, especially when it got to consoles. No lie, Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk is like everybody played Tony Hawk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy games, like everybody's played at least a Final Fantasy, not necessarily a certain number, but a Final Fantasy.
Well, there's also the big thing was that when we were getting into like middle school and high school, that was when consoles started. Like all of a sudden, it wasn't 2 choices anymore. Like all of a sudden, like we went from 2 to 4.
Yeah, but the point I was trying to make with this hot take that I'm fucking saying is that like there isn't a game that came out for PS4 that I could honestly say is going to be like, oh shit, this is going to stand the test of time where people are going to want to go back to PS4 to play this game. You know what I mean? I own all the systems and I can't say GTA. Once a new GTA comes out, there's no reason to go back to it. You know what I mean? These Mario games, for example, I'm only using Mario because everybody knows Mario. These Mario games, every time a new Mario game comes out, it's a brand new Mario game.
Yeah.
It's not like an updated Mario game. It's brand new. The mechanics are different. The worlds are different. The pickups everything is different every time a new one comes out. So if you want to play, you're going to have to go back to that system to play it. These days, you get like Modern Warfare and like Call of Duty, and each one that comes out is just an updated version where there is absolutely no reason to go back. Here, just to relate with stuff that you like. Like I don't know if you actually, I don't even know if I know Edwin does, but Madden or like FIFA. Is there any reason to go play FIFA 10?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Why? Because it's updated every time you fucking play it.
Exactly.
That's
the only game like that exists is the last NCAA game that came out, and that's because it's the last one. They haven't made a new one yet.
Exactly. And then when a new one comes out, why are you going to play the last? That's what I'm trying to say. So like all these games. There's a bunch of fucking dope ass games that came out on PS4, but none of them I could even. And I finished Final Fantasy VII, and I think the story is amazing and everything. But
Kingdom Hearts.
no, fuck that game. That game is the newest one was absolute
Yeah.
garbage. After the first episode that we did,
Uh huh.
by the way, if you guys didn't know, our first episode was about fucking Kingdom Hearts. After that episode, I played like maybe 10 hours of the game, and I was just like, I'm done with. I don't want to play this shit anymore. Like I got over it completely.
Well, what about the original Kingdom Hearts? What system was that for?
That was PlayStation 1, but those were good.
Oh, PlayStation 1?
No, PlayStation 2. Sorry, they were on
okay.
PlayStation 2. Yeah, those games were good. I mean, they were good just because of the mechanics, and I guess they tarnished the legacy for me with the last one because I have no desire to play those games again. But like, like there's
What's
it's
the last
fucking weird.
game? What's the last game that came out that you feel will stand the test of time? Like what system and what game?
Holy shit! The last game that came out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to play favorites, so I'll tell you for each system. For computer, for me, absolutely Overwatch. Overwatch changed the game. Like it's a fucking new way to play these kind of games. I think that shit's brand new. For PlayStation, shit, man. PlayStation does good with storylines because they're almost like movies. When you're playing a game, it's almost like watching a movie. But that kind of dies out after you're done with the movie. You know what I mean? Like you could watch it over, but it's not like, you know. But I would say, even though I'm not a huge fan of the game, I would have to say Bloodborne because it's so different.
I've
Like,
never even heard of that game.
yeah, Bloodborne is like if people who know about games, it's like Demon Souls. It's like the Souls game, but it's made by the same people. But it changes the whole formula where it's just a breath of fresh air. I'm not a huge fan of it. There's a bunch of games that came out after it mimicking the playstyle of that game, but they're not as
Which is the Star Wars game that everybody likes?
the last one that
Force
came out.
Unleashed? Was it Force Unleashed?
I don't know which one everyone likes.
There's like one that always comes up in conversation.
Oh, the Knights of the Old Republic. That's probably the best one ever made.
All right. So, do you feel like that one would stand a test? Is that one of those games that people?
Oh yeah, that one for sure. But that's Xbox. It's original Xbox.
That's Xbox. Okay.
That's the original Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the old Xbox. Yeah, that one's really good. Yeah, but like this generation, Xbox the best Xbox game in my opinion is probably this Xbox One is probably Killer Instinct. That's the one game that like, or Cuphead, and those are both indie games. They're not even like AAA. You know what I mean? But that's my opinion. Obviously, some people will be like, "Oh, Gears of War," which I hate.
Wait, there was
Halo.
a new Killer Instinct?
Yeah, bro. Killer Instincts launched with the Xbox One.
Like the fighting game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was part 3, technically.
I didn't even know that was still a thing.
Yeah, it's a big thing. It's going to be an Evo this year because people can't. Evo is like a big tournament for fighting games, and because online, they're going to have to do it online. They have to pick games with really good online. They have to like trash the other games. Like Smash Bros was supposed to be an Evo, but their online is like absolute shit. So they put in Killer Instinct because their online is fucking amazing. So that's a resurgence.
Joey should go to one of those fucking competitions.
He would probably wipe the floor, but he's scared.
I don't get it.
I don't know either. But yeah, Xbox. I can't really think of a. This generation for Xbox has been really bad. I don't think a good game. I don't think like a staple test of the time game has come out for Xbox One this generation.
Halo?
Maybe next generation.
One of the Halos.
I hate those games, so I'm the wrong person to ask. I fucking hate them.
But like public opinion, I'm sure you can gauge that.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I haven't heard enough people praise it for it being good.
I don't think I finished Halo 5.
Exactly. I haven't heard anybody praise that game to be like really good. So
okay,
it was
also I was at a very different point in my life when Halo 5 came out because Halo 3, which is where I kind of started with it, I was still in college working part time. Edwin was in the Navy, and so was our buddy Carlos. And like I'd get home and we would start playing at like 9:00 at night and play till like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then life happens and like I'm in bed by like 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I'm not playing in the middle of the night anymore and stuff like that. So it's like by the time Halo 5 came out, it was like trying to get our schedules to coordinate to play online co-op and all of that. It was just hard. So I feel like that's why I didn't finish it a lot. And then doing those games on Legendary by yourself
Yeah, it's
is
difficult.
hard as shit.
Yeah.
Like at least when you've got like your friends and you can like revive each other and shit like that. Like it's kind of like it's still Legendary difficulty. It's still hard because the more players you have, the more enemies they add. But at least you're not worried about like, okay, if I die, I have to go back and start over because it's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, Xbox is hard for me, man, because I don't think they've really. I mean, aside from their independent games, I think their independent games are the best thing. Like Cuphead for me is like the best thing on that system. Like easily, hands down. Cuphead and Ori and the Blind Forest are like the best games. Exactly. You don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. But
Nope.
those are like the best games on that system, and they're like third party, and they've been ported to Switch, so you can play that shit on Nintendo.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
I don't
like,
think I've ever played with an Xbox.
yeah, you don't need to, man. It's not worth it. I bought an Xbox thinking it was going to get better, and it never got better. And I bought a couple of games for it, and none of them surprised me. I'm just like, I was kind of like let down with all of them. Like I bought a bunch of games for PlayStation. A lot of them were really good. Like the Uncharted games are really good, but I don't think they're going to stand the test of time. Like I think once the story, because those games are fun because the story is so good. But once the story is over, is the gameplay all that great? No, so it's all right. You know, it's like a weird situation.
Yeah.
Then Nintendo, of course, always knocks it out of the park because those motherfuckers are creative as shit. Those motherfuckers make games that are just fucking weird. Like every Mario game, as stupid of a concept Mario is always fucking fun as hell. It's a stupid ass Italian plumber, and he's like going to different universes and shit. Like why? You know what I mean? It's just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But they're always fun.
They're always fun. That's true.
You can't knock them for.
I mean, the answer to your question of why
not?
Japan.
That's true. Yeah, fuck it. They do what they want.
You're gonna tell me the Italian plumber that goes to other universes is the strangest thing to have come out of Japan?
No, you're right. He also fights a dragon turtle.
Yeah. And he has the same first and last name.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's so silly.
Let's end it with this question: should they make another Mario movie? Live action?
No. Stop.
Well, you added live action at the end of that after I said yes. But yes.
No.
Fuck it. No. Learn the lessons. Learn the lessons, and at the very worst, we'll get something that's laughable.
You know what? Actually, I changed my mind. If they made a movie and let Nintendo do the movie, like not let Hollywood take care of the movie, let Nintendo make an anime, CG movie of Mario. Let them do it because they're crazy enough to come up with some weird ass shit. Don't let Hollywood do it because they'd have no idea what the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean? let some anime shit be Mario. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if we let Hollywood do it, we're gonna wind up with a Mario that looks nothing like Mario.
Exactly. Well, that's not true.
Why should he wear overalls and a red T-shirt?
Who would play
Mario wears? Nah. We don't need to hold on to that.
Who would play Mario here in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Play Mario? Probably The Rock.
Kevin James. The Rock.
Probably The Rock. Actually, we were saying all that bullshit, but no, Sonic apparently was a really good movie. Well, not really good in quotations. It wasn't a bad movie. You know what I mean?
Well, they fixed it. Well, Jim Carrey did a great job.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
I know we talked a lot about going to see it and all of that, but
damn, we were the ones that were telling people, go support the movie because they.
Well, that shit started with the Corona. That shit started when the Corona thing started.
I'll be honest. I would buy it. I would buy it on Blu-ray just to give them my money.
Mm-hmm.
But I just haven't been able to get to the store. And I don't buy my movies online. I go to the store and I pick them up.
I actually rented that shit on fucking Amazon, and I forgot that I rented it, and it expired. I spent the money to watch it, and I was playing video games, and I forgot.
Well, that just means you'll have to spend it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, did we talk about studios thinking about just going on direct to streaming on things?
I saw that Scoob was direct to video, and I heard that a bunch of these like movie theaters weren't happy about that shit.
Yeah,
it's a topic for another show.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, join the Facebook group. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Again, I know it was a bit of a downer at the beginning of the show. We were talking about things that
Important issues, topics.
but they were important issues, and I'll be honest, I feel like if I didn't talk about it with someone, I was gonna explode.
Yeah.
So thank you for allowing us to kind of continue this narrative, and hit us up in the Facebook group. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Obviously, slow news time. We're not getting a ton of stuff. I don't want to break down the Bill and Ted 3 trailer because let's be honest, I want to be surprised by the movie.
Yo, I will say one thing about that trailer. I'll say only. I actually spoke to Louis about it because I watched it. I was on the phone with Louis when I found out it dropped. I feel like Keanu has fucking surpassed that level of acting. I think he's just too good to be that character now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I saw the trailer and I was like, I don't think he could be a fucking weird surfer guy right now.
I was like, why is John Wick? I was like, why is John Wick hanging out with this stoner dude? Like, it didn't feel right. Like, I'm like, oh, I think he's gotten too good of an actor to be that character ever again.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I really hope it's good because at least Bill's still got it, bro. He's still got that stupid ass face. I love it.
Oh, he's been directing.
Is that what he's been doing?
Yeah, he's been working behind the scenes.
Oh shit!
But
cool.
This will end our broadcast day for today.
Yep.
And we'll catch you guys next week.
Yeah, man.
Weather permitting.
Fight the power. Be excellent to each other.
Whee!